Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. This is Scott Reisch, and today we're going to talk about the discovery of Maleah Davis in Houston, and we're going to talk about the missing mother of 5 in Connecticut, Jennifer Dulos. Let's talk about it. Good day, Crime Talk aficionados. This is Scott Reisch of Crime Talk. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you taking your time to do so. If you like the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button, hit that little bell for notifications, and leave a comment. We love to see what you think, and the conversation between all the subscribers is very, very interesting. Today, we're going to talk about Maleah Davis. Maleah Davis is the young girl who was reported missing by her mother's fiance, Darian Vence. She disappeared a couple of weeks ago when Darian Vence alleged that he had been carjacked and that several Hispanic men had taken Maleah Davis as well as the car, which was later discovered in a parking lot. Well, Mr. Vence confessed to an advocate for the mother in this particular case when he went to go speak with Mr. Vence at the jail. He confessed that the child was dead, that it was an accident, and he also described where he dumped the body in general terms by giving distances and where police may find the body of young Maleah. The police found her body. They're still trying to determine the cause and manner of death, but it is definitely the remains of young Maleah. Mr. Vence is still in custody based upon tampering with evidence, tampering with a corpse, and obviously further charges will be forthcoming once they know the cause and manner of death. Not looking good for Mr. Vence because, well, he confessed, and there's no Fourth Amendment issues when those confessions are made to civilians, not the police. So, not looking good for Mr. Vence. The next case on the docket that we're going to talk about is the disappearance of Jennifer Dulos. She is the Connecticut mother of 5 who has gone missing. She's been in a nasty divorce with her husband, Fotis Dulos, and Mr. Dulos and his now girlfriend, Michelle Troconis, have both been arrested, appeared in court on Monday for an advisement. As of right now, Fotis Dulos and Michelle Troconis were both arrested for hindering prosecution as well as tampering with evidence. When both of the defendants appeared in court on Monday, their bond was set at $500,000. Both defendants, through their counsel, asked for a bond reduction. That was denied as to each. Now, Miss Michelle Troconis had posted her bond of $500,000, assuming her parents did that, who were reportedly in the courtroom. Mr. Dulos is now in custody and will remain there until and if he can post the bond. The question is going to become, if they have enough evidence in this particular case, if Miss Troconis' bond will be revoked, if, for example, she is charged with an accessory or even as a principal with the murder investigation, because then in most cases, it'll be a no bond hold. My gut feeling is, and we'll get to the facts here, is that Ms. Troconis and her attorney will be working with some sort of proffer agreement to try and come clean and explain what her involvement or involvement was not in this situation and try to cut a deal for herself. I've said this before, but the threat of imminent incarceration tends to break the bonds of loyalty, and I believe this is going to be an interesting case. So let's talk about the facts. Jennifer Dulos lives in New Canaan, Connecticut, and she is going through a nasty divorce, as we talked about, with Fotis Dulos. She went missing on or about May 24th when she missed a couple of appointments, and her friends reported her missing. But by the time the police had arrived at her residence in New Canaan, some 70 miles away, there was a black pickup truck going down various streets in Albany Avenue and Hartford, and its occupants dumping plastic bags in trash bins in city businesses and residences. Well, guess who they believe that was? They believe that it was Mr. Dulos and Miss Troconis. And what new criminals often do not realize is that there is so much video surveillance throughout communities these days that it is impossible really to get away with much of anything. And I'm certainly not going to try and condone this, but once again, the amateur criminal, and in this particular case, is going to lead to his charging and his arrest. And that's Mr. Dulos and Miss Troconis taking their cell phones with them to a crime scene. What people don't realize is that every time you turn on your cell phone, it is pinging off of various location towers and giving information as to where you are. And you can literally track someone moving from around the city or around the state or around the country based upon their cell phone data. Even if the cell phone is off, it is still pinging to those towers. So if you're going to commit a crime, don't take your cell phone with you, okay, people? I'm not trying to encourage criminal activity, but these people get caught more and more frequently because of their cell phone records. That was going to be an issue in the Watts case, GPS. It's definitely an issue in the Frazee case. And now here we are in the Dulos case, and it is going to be an issue. And so Mr. Fotis Dulos is out there dumping things into drain spigots up in Hartford, as well as basically trash cans throughout the city. What he doesn't realize is his phone is being tracked by the cell phone information is being released, as well as the video cameras conducting the surveillance. And what Mr. Dulos was trying to do clearly was, if he was going to be discovered, was that he tried to alter his appearance and his clothing, but that didn't really work so well because he's still identifiable apparently in these videos. Also, when the police arrived at Ms. Dulos' residence, they found stains, which later were determined to be blood and blood spatter, inside the home and the garage, and clearly attempts of people trying to clean up the crime scene. And some of the trash bags collected that were dumped by Mr. Dulos were tested and had blood consistent with that of Jennifer Dulos. And Jennifer Dulos was reported missing after dropping her children off at the new Cannon Country Day School. Apparently, Mr. Fotis Dulos and Miss Jennifer Dulos had been fighting for custody over their children, a case back and forth with all sorts of accusations. Ms. Dulos had also told the judge that she feared that her husband would either kidnap their 5 children and flee to Greece with his new Argentinian paramour, or possibly even kill her. Word of Mr. Dulos' arrest came as the focus of the 9-day investigation shifted to Hartford, Connecticut. In one video clip recorded on May 24th, a man is seen inserting something into a storm drain grate at Albany Avenue and Garden Street. With the help of the Metropolitan District crew, police retrieved a FedEx mailer box that contained 2 Connecticut license plates. The plates had been altered with tape and adhesive to read 5T6WBU. Police said the actual canceled plate was 516WDJ. The actual canceled plate of 516WDJ had been on the 2007 Chevrolet Suburban belonging to Fotis Dulos, according to the police. Cell phone records also show that the phone belonging to Troconis traveled along with Dulos' cell phone throughout the Hartford area on May 24th after 7 p.m. At about 8:10 p.m., residential surveillance cameras next to his property on Jefferson Crossing in Farmington showed Dulos pulling his black Ford Raptor into the driveway. He was wearing a light-colored T-shirt, the same type of shirt as the man seen dumping garbage bags in the Hartford video footage, according to police. Sunday morning, investigators turned up at Dulos' 4 Group Inc. real estate company and obtained a search warrant and showed up in force at the property. This property is listed at $2.99 million. At about 8:45 a.m., more than a dozen state police vehicles, including 3 canine units, converged in front of 80 Mountain Spring Road. A state police canine unit searched a wooded area in front of the house, then moved toward the house and driveway before going back to the house where the state police forensic vehicle was parked. By the time investigators swarmed the property, Dulos was already in custody. He and Troconis had both been taken into custody on Friday after police showed up at his Farmington home, where the family lived until Jennifer Dulos moved to New Canaan with her 5 children and filed for divorce in June of 2017. Detectives had a search warrant seeking DNA and hair samples. Dulos left the house with Troconis and drove in his own black SUV with a convoy of state police detectives to Litchfield to give DNA and hair samples. Once they were taken, Dulos was allowed to leave and wasn't detained or questioned at the barracks, according to the police. He and Troconis were arrested on Saturday at about 11 p.m. at a hotel in Avon. Detectives have tightened the timeline for when they believe Jennifer Dulos disappeared to roughly 4 hours on May 24th. She dropped the children off around 8 a.m. at the school, and the cleaning lady had entered the Wells Avenue home in New Canaan around noon that day and found that no one was home. Dulos missed an 11 a.m. and a 1 p.m. appointment that day. She was reported missing by 2 friends at 7 p.m. Neither her cell phone nor her credit card had been used since her disappearance. The search intensified over the last week as divorce proceedings continued. Dulos filed a motion seeking a custody hearing because he said that the children are under an armed guard in New York City apartment owned by Jennifer's mother and that the father had no access to the children. Dulos apparently went to New York City 2 days after his wife was reported missing and tried to see the children, but was rebuffed by security at the apartment. Depositions apparently had been scheduled not only for Ms. Dulos, but the doctor who had been treating the children, as well as the couple's babysitter. Along with divorce proceedings, there was also a legal batting going on between Dulos and the estate of Jennifer Dulos' father, who contends that Dulos owes him more than $2.5 million. This case is going to be very interesting. It has everything. It has the missing mom, the children who are now in the care of the grandparents, the ex-husband who now has a new girlfriend who's been arrested with the assistance and is the possible suspect in the death of Jennifer Dulos, along with her ex-husband. This is going to get good. The girlfriend, Troconis, is out of custody. There's no doubt in my mind that the prosecutors and the defense counsel for Ms. Troconis are going to try and be working a deal. They're going to be trying to determine if they can find a body, and they're going to try to find out exactly what happened, and she's going to get some type of deal out of it. 5 children, $2.5 million, and the unhappy new girlfriend. This is going to get good. Thanks for watching Crime Talk. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe. Please like the channel.